Hello everyone, my name is Adrian Fernandez and I would like to give a quick demo on how to use the TI LaunchPad development kits paired with the CC3100 Wi-Fi booster pack to send sensor data to the PubNub cloud service. So PubNub offers a really nice Energia library that allows our launchpads to publish sensor data to the cloud as well as subscribe to various topics. And that way we can actually enable machine-to-machine communication or machine-to-cloud communication and vice versa. So in this case, I've got the Wi-Fi booster pack here, the CC3100. I'm going to plug it into our MSP430 launchpad. So in this case, I'm using the MSP430 F5529 board. However, this demo that I'm going through will work on more or less every launchpad that has Energia support, since we have a really nice and scalable Wi-Fi library that will enable us to interact with the PubNub web service. Great, so now that we've got our Wi-Fi board plugged onto our microcontroller launchpad, the next step is we are going to use some sensors from the Seed Studio Grove starter kit for the TI LaunchPad platform. So we collaborated with Seed Studio, and they created this great starter kit here that offers various sensors and actuators that plug very nicely to our launchpad development boards. So just taking a peek into the box here, first thing is the Grove base booster pack. This plugs onto any of our launchpad kits and provides access to Grove's ecosystem of modules thanks to these standardized connectors here. So in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and pick a few modules that I plan on using to send my real-time data to the cloud using the PubNub web service. First thing is the potentiometer knob. I'm going to be able to send potentiometer positions to the cloud. I'm also going to use this ambient light sensor. So you can see the little light sensor there, and it'll report how much brightness is in the environment. I will also be using I'll also be using this moisture sensor. This one's great. It plugs into a flower pot, and it will report how much moisture is in the soil depending on how much conductance is going through these two probes here. So I'll be using that. And I'll also be using this PIR motion sensor. There we go. And this will just return a value between 0 and 3 volts depending on the presence of motion with the help of this PIR sensor. So this is probably pretty similar to what you might find in your in your backyard motion sensitive lamp or light you might have in your garage, for example. So we're going to go ahead and use this module as well. So we've got 4 sensors: PIR, potentiometer, moisture, and ambient light sensor. But what's great about the Grove ecosystem with the help of this booster pack is that it becomes really easy to interface these sensors to your launchpad. So I'm simply going to plug this onto the back of my launchpad. We can plug it either on the bottom or the top. I'm going to go for the bottom in this case, and you can see we're making a really nice connection there. And the Grove starter kit also includes several cables, and these cables make it really easy for me to interface these modules to my launchpad. So on the Grove based booster pack, these are all analog capable connectors. So all of the sensors that I've provided or that I've selected here are going to return a value between 0 and 3 volts. If it's moisture value, that it'll get higher and higher. It'll get closer to 3 volts the more moist the soil gets. So these are all going to return a value between 0 and 3 volts depending on the incoming sensor value. So I'm just going to go ahead and start plugging them in here. There we go. So let's go ahead and put the PIR sensor. Let's also take another ribbon cable and plug in the moisture sensor. There we go. It's got the potentiometer knob. And then the ambient light sensor. Perfect. And there you go, we're all set. The sensors are all hooked up to our launchpad. And you can kind of see here, but there's some labels on the booster pack itself, and this actually tells us how these connectors are connected to our launchpad. And that's it, our hardware is all set up.